Hey everybody and welcome to this video. I'm Inxlaura123. This is going to be my March reading wrap up. Basically, I'm going to be telling you what books I read in the month of March. Also, I'm going to be doing a little giveaway as well. Now, don't get too excited. It's not anything too spectacular or amazing. It's just a little something. So if you want to find out what it is and how you can win, just carry on watching. And it's going to be at the end of the video. Okay, so I've got my phone here with the list of books that I read in the month of March, and what I've done, I've basically gone on Goodreads, which can I just say is one of my favourite apps ever. I love Goodreads. If you are on Goodreads and you want to follow me, I'll put the link to my Goodreads page down below, so come and follow me and I'll follow you back. But anyway, so each book, I just kind of took the blurb about each book that I mention and then I can read it out to you. So yeah, let's do this. Well, actually, need my glasses. Oh, also I'll be showing you the book that I'm currently reading and loving, can I just say? Right, glasses are on. Okay, right, so let's do this. The first book I read in the month of March was called The Wicked King by Holly Black. I absolutely loved reading The Cruel Prince. It was amazing. This was number 2. So it says, you must be strong enough to strike and strike and strike again without tiring. The first lesson is to make yourself strong. After the jaw-dropping revelation that Oak is the heir to Fairy, Jude must keep her younger brother safe, and to do so, she has bound the wicked King Cardan. I loved Cardan. Anyway, and to her, and made herself the power behind the throne. Navigating the constantly shifting political alliances of Fairy would be difficult enough if Cardan were easy to control, but he does everything in his power to humiliate and undermine her, even as his fascination with her remains undiminished. When it becomes all too clear that someone close to Jude means to betray her, threatening her own life and the lives of everyone she loves, Jude must uncover the traitor and fight her own complicated feelings for Cardan to maintain control as a mortal in a fairy world. So I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait for the next book, which is called The Queen of Nothing. Holly Black did a cover reveal on her social media recently and I was like, whoa, looks so good. Can't wait to read that. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for that book. The next book I read is a book that I just picked up from the library. So it's called The Weight of Water by Sarah Crossan. This was just a quick little short read book for me. It's one of those books that's wrote in verse. Now, I didn't really used to like those books, that kind of verse type of book, but I've kind of got used to reading verse and I quite like it now. So the thing is, with Sarah Crossan, loads of people rave about her books, right? But I literally, everyone I've read from her, I've just not enjoyed. So this was kind of like, look, make or break. This is the last book I'm going to give this author a go. If not, I just won't read anything because I'm not connecting with her writing. But okay, I have to say I love this book. So this was the first book I'd read from this author and I absolutely loved it. Okay, so it says, armed with a suitcase and an old laundry bag filled with clothes, Kassienka and her mother head for England. Life is lonely for Kassienka. At home, her mother's heart is breaking, and at school, friends are scarce. But when someone special swims into her life, she learns there might be more than one way for her to stay afloat. This book, honestly, it was very touching and it was a book of courage and family and emotion and just absolutely brilliant. I really liked it. So 5 out of 5 for that one. The next book I read, oh my God, this book has been so hyped up lately and I had to check it out. I'm pleased I did. I absolutely freaking loved it. It was amazing. Okay, so it's Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And in my notes here on my phone, I've put, wowza. It was wowza. So basically it says, everyone knows Daisy Jones and the Six, but nobody knows the reason behind their split, the absolute height of their popularity until now. Daisy is a girl coming of age in LA in the late 60s, sneaking into clubs on the Sunset Strip, sleeping with rock stars and dreaming of singing at the Whiskey A Go-Go. The sex and drugs are thrilling, but it's the rock and roll that she loves the most. And by the time she's 20, her voice is getting noticed and she has the kind of heedless beauty that makes people do crazy things. So crazy. Anyway, also getting noticed is The Six, a band led by the brooding Billy. On the eve of their first tour, his girlfriend Camilla finds out that she's pregnant, and with the pressure of impending fatherhood and fame, Billy goes a little bit wild on the road. Daisy and Billy cross paths when a producer realises that the key to supercharged success is to put the two of them together. What happens next will become the stuff of legend. I've put in my notes, rock on, baby. Rock on, baby. Honestly, this was so good. It was fiction, but it really felt like it was real. I actually thought I was reading about a real band, and it was absolutely amazing. Definitely a 5 out of 5 stars for that book. And behind me on my bookcase, I have this one here, which I got from eBay. And yeah, this is by the same author. This is called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is supposed to be really good as well. So I've got that to read. Just put that back in there. Okay, right, so yeah, 5 out of 5 for that one. Next book I read was Internment by Samira Ahmed. So this was a really kind of hard-hitting, thought-provoking book. It says rebellions are built on hope. Set in a horrifying near-future United States, 17-year-old Layla Amin and her parents are forced into an internment camp for Muslim American citizens. With the help of newly made friends also trapped within the camp, a boyfriend on the outside, and an unexpected alliance, Layla begins a journey to fight for freedom, leading a revolution against the camp's director and his guards. So in my notes here on my phone, I've put hope, not hate. Too right. Hope, not hate. So yeah, I like the way that there was a relationship between, like, the main character was a girl, she was a Muslim girl, and her boyfriend was a Jewish boy. And I liked seeing that because, you know, I'm Jewish myself, right? And sometimes people, unfortunately, kind of pit us against each other. You know, Jews don't like Muslims, Muslims don't like Jews. Well, you know what? We do. We can get along, and we need to kind of stick together, you know. And this book, I love the way that there was a Jewish character in a relationship with a Muslim character, and it was just very thought-provoking and really well wrote. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. Next book I read was by one of my favourite authors ever, who I've got loads of books up here, you can't really see out there, okay? But anyway, V.E. Schwab. I read a book called The Near Witch. Now, this was one of her first ever stories. She's now kind of re-released it for like a whole new audience to kind of read it and stuff. So I am pleased I read it, but compared to these books that I've read from her, it weren't as good. But to be fair, like, it was still really good, and it was one of, you know, her first books, so, you know. But anyway, okay, so The Near Witch is only an old story to frighten children. If the wind calls at night, you must not listen. The wind is lonely and always looking for company. And there are no strangers in the town of Near. These are the truths that Lexi has heard all her life. But when an actual stranger boy who seems to fade like smoke appears outside her home on the moor at night, she knows that at least one of these sayings is no longer true. The next night, the children of Near start disappearing from their beds, and the mysterious boy falls under suspicion. Still, he insists on helping Lexi search for them. Something tells her that she can trust him. As the hunt for the children intensifies, so does Lexi's need to know about the witch that just might be more than a bedtime story, and about the wind that seems to speak through the walls at night, and about the history of this nameless boy. So this is part love story, part fairy tale. It was really cool to see how, you know, V. Schwab, or Victoria Schwab, she goes under both names in books, doesn't she? But see how she kind of started with her writing and stuff. But I don't know, it was good. Like, I give it a 4 out of 5, which is, you know, pretty good. But compared to other books that I've read from her, it's just not as good. But it was good to see how she started and then improved. Anyway, right. Next book I read, I actually have here. So it is this one. So this is Catwoman, Soul Stealer by the wonderful Sarah J. Maas. This book is beautiful. Look, all the purple as well on the sides of the pages. I love it when books have that, like that colour of the side of the pages. I know, I'm a geek, but I'm easily pleased by a good-looking book. So yeah, Catwoman. So I put, oh my God, wow. This was an awesome, exciting, fun read. And so yeah, it's part of the DC Icons series. I've read all of them, apart from the newest one, which is Superman, which I do have to read. So once I've read that one, I'd have read all 4 of them. And they've all been really, really cool. So it says, when the bat's away, the cat will play. It's time to see how many lives this cat really has. 2 years ago, after escaping Gotham City's slums, Selena Kyle returns as the mysterious and wealthy Holly Vanderhees. She quickly discovers that with Batman off on a vital mission, Batwing is left to hold back the tide of notorious criminals. Gotham City is ripe for the taking. Meanwhile, Luke Fox wants to prove he has what it takes to help people in his role as Batwing. He targets a new thief on the prowl who seems cleverer than most. Meow. She has teamed up with Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, and together they are wreaking havoc. This Catwoman may be Batwing's undoing. I absolutely loved it. Honestly, it was so good. And out of all of them that I've read in that series, as I say, I haven't read Superman yet, but that has been my favourite. I absolutely loved it. So there we go. I definitely give that a 5 out of 5. Okay, the next book I read was a book from the library. I'd not heard of it or anything. I just literally, sometimes when I'm in the library, I feel drawn to certain books like magnets. They draw me in. Anyway, so it's called The Stolen Ones by Vanessa Curtis, and this book really made me cry buckets. Like, I was literally, or maybe not buckets, but I definitely had a lot of tears with this book. It was a very emotional read. So basically it says, my name is Inge, I'm 16, I live in Munich, food is rationed, though the war ended years ago. My boyfriend is Jewish, my parents would not approve, so I hide this from them. I think they are hiding something from me too. Letters arrive on my birthday, but they are not addressed to me. They are for a girl named Cassia, and this is her story. This book, honestly, it was so good. It's absolutely brilliant. Very emotional, very sad at parts, but just so emotional and raw and just really well told. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. And because when I read a book and I really like the author's style of writing, I always go and see what other books they've done. And I found this one. I got it really cheap on eBay, and this is from the same author. This is The Earth is Singing. I promised Papa I would survive to tell our story. So it's supposed to be, once again, a very kind of thought-provoking, emotional, raw kind of story involving like the Holocaust and stuff like that. So I get really emotional whenever I read books like that, and especially I think because I am Jewish, I feel like I have even stronger connection with stuff like that. But I think it's important that books like this are, made. People need to continue to learn the horrors, the history of the Holocaust and how it affected people and how it's still affecting people up to now. So I've got this other book from her, but that other one, absolutely, emotional. All right, so the next book I read was a sci-fi. Sci-fi is not like really my thing. Like, I'm not like a big sci-fi fan, but I do read a bit of sci-fi now and again. I have to be in a certain mood for it. So this is a book I got from the library called Artemis by Andy Weir. This was a tricky one to kind of rate out of 5 because it started off and I loved it. I was like proper like, wow, this is amazing. And then halfway through I was like, So basically, the main character is this lovable rogue called Jazz. She's such a kind of amazing, strong, sassy female. She's been through a lot, but she's still tough, but she's still soft and emotional as well. And she's just like a bit wild, a bit of a rogue. She does some dodgy dealings, to survive. But I loved her. I absolutely loved her. But I just felt that the story, it's just a bit... Anyway, so Jazz Bashara is a criminal. Well, sort of. Life on Artemis, the first and only city on the moon, is tough if you're not a rich tourist or an eccentric billionaire. So smuggling in the occasional harmless bit of contraband barely counts, right? Not when you've got debts to pay and your job as a porter barely covers the rent. Everything changes when Jazz sees the chance to commit the perfect crime with a reward too lucrative to turn down. But pulling off the impossible is just the start of her problems as she learns that she's stepped square into a conspiracy for control of Artemis itself, and that now her only chance of survival lies in a gambit even riskier than the first. It had so much potential, and as I say, it started off really good, but halfway through I did lose a bit of interest. There was stuff I was like, what, I don't understand all this, it's too sci-fi for me. But I love Jazz. I thought she was a brilliant character, and yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 basically. Next book I read was actually my TBR jar selection from my lovely Nathan. So for those of you that are new to my channel, or if you just don't know, my fiance Nathan, every month he picks my TBR jar selection book. I've got this jar, and in there's names of all the books that I own, not series, just standalone books that I own but I haven't read yet. And once a month, he picks it out, and that's my TBR jar of the month. So this month I read The One We Fell in Love With by Paige Toon. I've never read a book by her before. This was the first one. I know she's quite a well-known author. And it was a real kind of girly romance, you know, and that's not really my thing. Well, I say it's not my thing. Like, sometimes I do like a little bit of romance, a bit of girly stuff, but only now and again. I have to be in a certain mood for it. So I've got to be honest, when it came out the TBR jar, I was like, okay, we'll give it a go. But I tell you what, it was brilliant. It was really good. So a little bit cheesy, but it was really, really good. So Phoebe is caught between a rock and a hard place. Settle down and get married, or return to the French Alps to pursue her passion. Eliza is in love with someone who is no longer hers. In fact, he probably never was, and her dream of becoming a musician seems to be spiralling down the drain. Rose is out of a job and out of a boyfriend, and to make matters worse, she's been forced to move back in with her mother. But these very different girls have one thing in common. You know, it's going to be a man, obviously. Yes, of course it is a man. And his name is Angus, the one that they all fell in love with. So they're all sisters, basically. So you get each sister's perspective as you go through the book. And it's just brilliant. It really was brilliant. So I give it a 4 out of 5. And if you like lovey-dovey romance chick books, check Paige Toon out. Apparently she's done loads and loads of books. So I think in the future, if I feel like something a bit slushy and romantic, I definitely like go and check out one of her books again, because I liked her writing style. She was cool. Okay, and the last book of the month that I read is here as well. So I've got a really itchy back. Just got, oh, there we go. Yeah, this is the last book of the month that I read, and oh my God, it's amazing. It's amazing. Enchanté. I think that's how you say it. I'm very good at French. I think it's either Enchanté or Enchanté. Anyway, it's by Gita Trellis, and it's brilliant. Best way I can describe it very quickly is Les Mis mixed with magic, romance and family and drama, and oh, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so I loved every minute. It didn't want it to end. I didn't. When I got to the end, I was like, oh, but apparently, I thought originally when I bought it, it was just a standalone, but apparently it's not. It's actually, I think, a trilogy or a series, and there is number 2 planned. So that's exciting for me. Okay, so, when smallpox kills her parents, Camille Dabon, I don't know, must find a way to provide for her frail sister while managing her volatile brother, relying on petty magic, which is called la magie ordinaire. Yeah. Camille painstakingly transforms scraps of metal into money so she can buy the medicine and the food that they need. But when the coins won't hold their shape and her brother disappears with the family savings, naughty, nasty brother, didn't like him, Camille must pursue a richer, more dangerous mark, the glittering court of Marie Antoinette. With dark magic forbidden by her mother, Camille transforms herself into the Baroness de la Fontaine and is swept up into life at the palace where aristocrats, not aristocrats. Anyway, both fear and hunger for magique. There she gambles at cards, desperate to have enough to keep herself and her sister safe. Yet the longer she stays at court, the more difficult it becomes. And she basically meets this handsome young balloonist who dares her to hope that love and liberty may both be possible. But magic has its costs, and when Camille loses control of her secrets, the game she's playing turns deadly. And then revolution erupts. She must choose love or loyalty, democracy, freedom, magic. So many choices, right? Yeah, before Paris burns. 5 out of 5. This book was so enchanting and so magical and amazing and different. I just loved it. Like, I really super duper duper loved it. And so much so, in fact, I give it a 5 out of 5. But I've also made it my book of the month. It was a close call, I have to say. I nearly had joint favourites because I loved Catwoman, but I can't. I have to say this is the standalone book of the month. It can't share it with any other books. It needs the award of book of the month for the month of March. It was absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait for number 2. And it's just so pretty as well. Look at that beautiful cover. It's just gorgeous. I love it. So anyway, and also because a lot of, oh look, there's playing cards in it as well, which is cool. Yeah, a lot of, obviously, there's some French words in it. And there's like this glossary at the back. I'm not going to show you what happens at the end, don't worry. But the author has done like a glossary of, well, she's gone into like different historical notes about the, you know, the history of it. But she's also done like a glossary of some of the French words and what they mean in English and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. For example, I'm just going to randomly pick some. Fantastique. Fantastic. Demande. God, my God. Hurry up is dépêchez-vous. 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 Anyway, I think it's really cool to do that. But overall, absolutely amazing. My book of the month. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you and show you what I'm currently reading, and it is this one here. Woo! The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. So, do you remember, where is it? Do you remember? Guy Carella. Guy Carella was an amazing book. Mwah. Yes, I kissed a book and I don't care. I kissed a book and I liked it. Yeah. What am I doing? I don't know. No one knows. Guy Carella was brilliant. This is also from the same author, and it's a Guy Carella fairy tale. So some of the characters from Guy Carella are kind of featured in this, but it's new characters as well. I'm loving it. I'm currently on page 161, so I think just over halfway, I think. Would you say? Or nearly halfway? Anyway, it's about halfway, basically. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, because obviously I'll tell you next month in my next wrap-up. But so far, it's definitely going to get a 5 out of 5, because it's absolutely brilliant. If you like the cuteness and the comedy and the kind of fan fiction and stuff like that, Comic-Con-ish meets fairy tale in Guy Carella, you'll love this one as well. So yeah, check it out. It's only just come out, and I got it because I had to have it. I had to have it, and I'm pleased because it's good. Anyway, so that is my reading wrap up. That's the book I'm reading. Now carry on watching for a couple of things, okay? So first of all, in a moment, you will see a little bit of video footage of my lovely Nathan, my fiance, doing my TBR jar selection. So you'll find out what book has been selected. I know already because we've filmed it, but you don't know. So you're going to have to keep watching. So you'll see the TBR jar selection, and you'll also see about the contest, what you can win. As I say, it's nothing like major or spectacular. It's very cheap, but it's book related. So if you're a bookworm, you'll love it. And yeah, I got one for myself, and I picked up an extra one. Well, you'll see in a minute, but I picked up an extra one to do as like a giveaway in this video because, yeah, I think it was cute. And yeah, anyway, so please click like, comment, subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. Don't forget, I have another YouTube channel, MinxLaura123 ASMR, and I'll put the links all down below for the social media and the YouTubes and stuff like that. But yeah, on that channel I do videos to help people with anxiety, insomnia, depression, help you relax, help you sleep. And as some people, when they watch ASMR videos, experience these nice, pleasant, tingles sensation. Okay, so go check out MinxLaura123 ASMR. And a couple quick things, I now have some new Minx merchandise available on my Teespring, so go take a look at my Teespring Minx merch, links down below, you know it. And also one very quick thing, I also now have a Patreon, so if you want to come and support me and show me some love on Patreon, that would be awesome. You don't have to, but if you want to, whoop, 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 thank you. So yeah, I do have a Patreon, and it's MinxLaura123. Okay, right. Now it's time for the TBR jar selection, then the contest. Okay. Okay, so now it's time for the TBR jar selection, and here's Nathan's hand. Okay, let's do this.
Ready? I'm going to open this jar, and I'm going to empty it all on the bed. So much book. Look how much book there is.
Oh my god, so many books that I own that I haven't read yet.
It's
all in
empty.
here. It's empty. Yep.
There's the pile of book.
Give them a good old mix. Da, 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 da,
And now it's time to delve in and pick one.
Yay! Well, what is
This
it?
one.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
It's the Watchmaker of Kilgrin Street.
Oh, yes, yes. I have got that, I think, yeah, in the box room. Yeah, in the bookcase, yeah. Oh, wow. So it's Natasha Pulley, the Watchmaker.
I'll go get it for you.
Oh, do you mind? Oh, thank you. Nathan's going to go and get me the book, and then you can see the actual book, what it looks like. Where is he? He won't be long. You got it, you got it, you got it. Quick, quick, come back, come back. It is, yeah, I remember that one actually. It's got a beautiful cover. It's got a pretty cover, yeah.
Book.
Oh, yeah, that is gorgeous. The Watchmaker of Kilgrin Street. It is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. It's got like a little hole in the middle. Oh, look at that. It's a beautiful cover. Yeah. He lived his life like clockwork until he met the Watchmaker. This is supposed to be really, really good, and I'm finally going to be reading it as my TBR jar selection. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay everyone, so now it's time for the giveaway part of this video. I am giving away this lovely, beautiful bookmark, and on it says, "A book is a dream that you hold in your hands." Very, very true. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning this lovely bookmark, all you've got to do is put the word bookmark in the comment section down below. Okay, simple as that. Just put the word bookmark in the comment section down below, and everyone who does that, I know that you want to be in with a chance of winning, and I'll put everyone who puts the word bookmark in the comment section down below into a prize draw, and then in a month's time when I do my next reading wrap up video, I will announce the winner. So good luck to all that enter, and yeah, a book is a dream that you hold in your hands. Okay. Good luck everyone.